friend Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review, and I'm about to be doing some babbling about Cheap Trick today. But before we get to that, if you're new to this is kind of what we do here, is we just babble about music that we love. A lot of times it's about new releases because, you know, that seems to be what people are most interested in. We throw some other stuff in here now and then, so if you like that type of stuff, like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, like I always say, because these are just the bands that we love to hear from. Yeah, we occasionally talk about some new stuff too, so, you know, like, share, and subscribe to keep those bands alive as well. But today I'm excited to be talking about Cheap Trick's new album called All Washed Up. I don't know if that's kind of a play on their earlier album All Shook Up, I don't know, maybe, but I have really been a fan of Cheap Trick most of my life, actually. I tell stories here, in case you don't know. This is kind of what we do, and feel free to tell stories in the comments. I love it when people tell their stories down there as well. But way back when I was young, just discovering rock music, I was in this youth group and we were trying to raise money for the youth group, and we had this thing called a rockathon, which sounds cool, but it's not as cool as it sounds. What it is you sit in a rocking chair and you rock for hours, and you try to get people to sponsor you for however many hours you rock. You know, if it's like $1 an hour, you try to get people to sponsor that. So anyway, during this time, it was like an all-night thing, and some of the older kids brought some music to listen to, and one of the cassettes they had was Live at Budokan. And I had no idea who Cheap Trick was, but we listened to that album. I don't know if we listened to it more than once, but I remember hearing it, and it really made an impact on me, and I had to go get that album. So that's where it started, and it's funny because I got In Color, was one of the first ones I got too as well, which is a really short albums, which, you know, whatever, it is what it is, but I really listen to those albums a lot. So pretty much from that point on, I have purchased everything Cheap Trick that they've released. The funny thing is, I really love that early stuff. It just, something about it. I don't know what happened. I know they got some pressure from the record company to get some, you know, outside songwriters in, late 80s there, and I did like that stuff. So, because Cheap Trick does have this ability. Same thing with Heart. They just, even though they got some, you know, outside writers in to help them out, they just still maintained their identity. You just knew it was them, even though it was somebody else writing some of the songs. They still had their own sound. Cheap Trick always had that for me. But after that, in, you know, early 90s, I don't know what happened with them. I kind of didn't get excited about their albums anymore. I bought everything, and nothing's been horrible. But there's just, I have nothing just reaches out to me like that early stuff. And I've just always hope, you know, every time I get an album with these guys, just hope that it's gonna be something I really, really, really like. And unfortunately, that just hasn't happened until this one. This one was really good. I was not expecting a lot, quite honestly. I was just hoping, as I always do. Like I said, everything's been decent, but nothing just really jumped out at me for whatever reason. I don't know, but the band sounds really invigorated on this one. They sound just like they have a new energy, and I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the fact that it's more of a family event nowadays. You know, Rick Nielsen's got his son Dax playing drums, and Robin has his son Robin singing and playing guitar on this, and he also has his other son singing background vocals on a couple of things too. So actually, I think he co-wrote one of Robin Taylor Zander, that is, co-wrote one of the songs on here, 12 Gates. They actually did have another co-write on here on A Long Way to Worcester, which if I remember right, is the guy from the Mavericks or the Drive-By Truckers. I don't know, it's a country band or southern rock band. I can't remember now. Somebody sure will correct me in the comments. I actually did know this, and now I can't remember. Case of the olds, that's what I call it. Stole that from Pete Pardo, but that's what's happening right now. Kind of can't remember. But anyway, as far as the album goes, it kicks in with the title track, All Washed Up. At first, I'll tell you what, the first listen through, I did like this album, but it kind of was some of the stuff didn't hit me as hard. And this one, musically, I thought was great, but Robin's vocals on this one were really strange, really had a weird effect on it. And I was like, why are they doing that? He's got such an awesome voice. I just really love Robin's voice. And did I say Rick's voice? I don't even know what I said now. Robin's voice. I just love his voice. And it was too covered up. They covered up with effects and stuff on this, and he's kind of singing in a low, almost like Iggy Pop style. but the song works. It really is good. Probably not the strongest way to open the album, unfortunately, but the next song, All Wrong, Long Gone, great. That one just, I don't know, there's nothing new here really. I don't want to like make it sound like they're doing anything groundbreaking, but they just sound more energetic and revitalized, and like they're actually love what they're doing. Sometimes I felt like on some of these last 20 years, they just were going through the motions and just putting stuff out and not really, being as creative with their songwriting. And I think maybe it just feels like maybe they're putting a little bit more attention into like picking out good stuff, if that makes any sense. But that song, The Riff That Won't Quit, was also very cool. First listen through, Bet It All, more of a slower song. It didn't really reach out and grab me that much. After a couple listens to it, like the solo on that one is killer. Like Rick has a very unique style of playing, and it doesn't sound like that complicated a lot of the times, but I've tried to learn how to play some of his stuff, and it's been some of the most difficult parts I've ever had to learn how to play. So even though like he used to do a lot of showman type stuff, and he had a shtick, and his playing sounded a little sloppy live. However, I don't know what it is on record. He like nails it, and I've actually seen him play. I was watching that Daryl Hall, like it was the House of Daryl, I can't remember what it's called now, that they were a guest on, and he was playing on that one obviously, and he was like nailing all the parts. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's really that good. So he really lets it show on that song anyway. Okay, quick little edit there. Don't normally do that, but for some reason I thought things had gotten screwed up and stopped recording, so if there's a weird jump there in the middle of it, I apologize. But we're back and talking about these songs. Anyway, track number 5, The Best Thing, which is kind of a ballady type thing. Robin, it's a very poppy song. It's a very bubblegum song, but they are bubblegum anyway. They've always been that, even though they have a hard rock, even almost punk feel sometimes. They've always had that bubblegum feel. So that's in here. Actually, one of my favorite songs, 2 songs on here, right in a row, 12 Gates and Bad Blood, I just find to be like very, very good songs. 12 Gates is the one that Robin Taylor Zander co-wrote with them, and I don't know, that one just really that one does have a little bit of a different feel. There's something a little bit new and unique to that one. Maybe it has something to do with the co-writing on there, which is funny. No bust on Robin Taylor Zander at all, but I got a couple of his albums, and that's not really my cup of tea. It's not my thing. Very Beatlesque, and which is fine. Lo-fi type stuff, in my opinion. But for whatever reason, his songwriting worked really well on this song, and I really enjoyed that. And then Bad Blood just is probably the best song on the whole album. It's got a really cool, strong melody to it. And Tom Peters on this one, his bass line, just for whatever reason, it's almost psychedelic sounding bass line. Just kind of ties the whole thing up and brings it like all back together. And that just for me, that song is like just the height of the album. From this point on, Dancing with the Band, Long Gone, and Long Way to Worcester, some of the weaker songs on the album, but still good songs. Just listening through, they're still catchy, still good, nothing bad here, but they started out really strong. So like very front-loaded album, and they end with a really weird song, Wham Boom Bang, and I believe there's an oboe on that one. That's kind of what it sounded like. I don't know, I probably should have checked the credits before I did this, but that's not something I do. So anyway, very cool album. I really enjoyed listening to it. It's been a while since I've been excited to put on a Cheap Trick album. This one's staying in the player for a little bit longer. So when an album, CD in this case, does that, for me, it's always a good sign when I keep it playing, because a lot of these, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times I listen to these albums, they go on the shelf and they never come out again. And it's good to have an album that's not going to do that from these guys. And I don't mean just these guys in general. I mean, there's a lot of these albums I listen to, they never get, it's crazy. I just never listen to them again. So this one will be getting played again. So it's a good sign. So anyway, I hope this doesn't mean it's the last one. I know All Washed Up is the title track, but hopefully we'll get some more music from these guys. I really enjoy listening to this album. So if they can get more of this in them, I really hope they don't, hang it up. So until then, we will see you.